you.
Thank you, Reston Corral, and just to clarify, that was Casey Cook, who was the Associate Director that led the first one, so a hand for Casey Cook. And our conductor and writer of that wonderful piece, the second piece, was Joe Marshall, so a hand for Joe Marshall. If you'd like to hear more of the Reston Corral, on May 10th, they will be performing at the Reston Community Center in Huntersville. So now, I'm going to ask everyone to make way because we're going to bring up here to the front of the stage the young Restonians. And so would you please come forward, that group of young Restonians. I'd like to have you to the front, please. Now, to tell you who's coming up here, we are going to recognize a group of people represented by these fine citizens that are coming up. These are folks that grew up in Reston and still serve their hometown. These are people who truly love their community, and today we honor members of the first generation of Restonians. Thank you all very much, and thank you for all you do for our community, and we hope that you're going to be doing this for the next 50 years. How about it? Yeah. All right, thank you guys. It is now my great pleasure to introduce someone who has been a wonderful friend of Reston, a longtime resident, and she is a member of the Founders Day Planning Committee and also the immediate past chair of the Reston Historic Trust. Please welcome Lynn Williams.
Intergenerational. I have my two of my grandchildren here, Maya and Levi. extraordinary times, and the energy and creativity you have shown over the years serves as an inspiration. As you celebrate a century of memories, I hope you take tremendous pride in the community you founded 50 years ago, and in all you have done to ensure our neighborhoods are vibrant places to live and work. Again, happy birthday. Michelle and I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Barack Obama.
Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, President Obama, for that. That's very nice. So, it's a wonderful honor hearing from the White House. And when Reston was founded, LBJ was president. Now we're going to do a little quiz. When Bob was born, who was president? Ken. No, that's not right. Is there a second guess? Oh, Jerry, very good. Woodrow Wilson, thank you very much. It was Woodrow Wilson, so that's our quiz for the day. Thank you, Ken. He's a historian, by the way. Bob told me once he knew Abraham Lincoln. That's what. Now I would like to call up Shelley Mastron. She is our board chair at the Reston Historic Trust and a member of the Founders Day Planning Committee. And she is here with a historic announcement, which is very apropos for the Historic Trust. Welcome, Shelley.
Last year, the Reston Historic Trust applied to the Virginia Department of Historic Resources for a historic roadside marker for Reston. And we had to compose a description of Reston's founding in 100 words or fewer. Last month, we learned from the Department of Historic Resources that we are indeed going to get a historic marker. The actual words are in your program, so you can read them there. It's going to be installed by VDOT somewhere here at Lake Ann in a publicly accessible space, probably next fall. So, Bob, this is another testimony to your legacy.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much. Reston has seen many changes over the years, and there are many more to come with the opening of Metro and the redevelopment of the area around Lake Ann Plaza. Here to talk about the future of Lake Ann Plaza is Rick Thompson, President of Lake Ann of Reston Condominium Association, and David L. Peter, the President of Republic Land. Please come up.
Good afternoon. I'm the president of the Condo Association. Doesn't really sound like me from this side of the way. This condominium is owned by 131 owners, both residential unit owners and commercial unit owners. I'm on the board of directors, and we're currently the custodians of this wonderful place. So welcome today. Like everyone else here on the program today, I'm here to recognize Bob's accomplishments, but I'd like to focus on Lake Ann. and the future. The future, upward and onward. As we know, where we stand today is Bob's creation. 50 years later, for those of us who call it home, it's a very special place to provides us an enclave for community. And we enjoy it every day, and the neighbors who live with us. So thank you, Bob. But Bob isn't done. His vision keeps giving, and we have yet to experience part of his legacy, the revitalization and expansion of Lake Ann. Over the last decade and more, Bob has remained our visionary, but Bob is more than the everyday visionary. He's a rabble-rouser. He's a mover and a shaker, with emphasis on the shaking. So Bob is the extraordinary kind of visionary. He's the getting it done kind of visionary. So for Lake Ann's development, that meant that Bob shouldered the mundane task of prodding, challenging, encouraging, demanding, attending the incessant meetings, making the calls, getting the meetings to escalate the issues, to resolve the issues. And on more than just a few occasions, it meant just storming into offices, demanding action. Right, Kathy? A lot of us know that Bob is not the most patient man. So imagine how frustrating getting revitalization really moving, was for Bob. Of course, the truth is that it took not only Bob's energy and drive to push the redevelopment rock from planning into a development project. In fact, it has required the efforts of many supporters. And consider this, it has taken many of us more than a decade to get the redevelopment of Lake Ann off the ground, as it took Bob to get Lake Ann and the entirety of Reston underway. For a perspective about scope of accomplishments, it's a little humbling, I think. But today we can say that we're no longer looking ahead to Lake Ann's revitalization. Thanks to Bob and the many supporters, it has actually begun. So now we can see what it'll actually be like. We have amazing drawings and solid plans are under review. We're even making asphalt core drillings and starting to cut up our parking lot. So, and I guess you've noticed that we have a new banner today. We also have a very good developer, Republic Land Development Company, led by David Peter, who I'll introduce in a moment, and the Lake Ann Development Partners team that David has assembled for the project. But before looking ahead, I think it's appropriate to note that it hasn't been easy to get this far. We should acknowledge and say some thanks to some of those supporters that got us this far in the redevelopment effort. First of all, in addition to Bob's vision and energy, there has been and is Kathy Hutchins. Thank you, Kathy. Your diligent leadership through the years has been steadfast. Not only will we accomplish the revitalization of Reston's birthplace, we will also contribute to the goal of providing homes to new neighbors as we extend our community to others in keeping with Reston's principle of economic diversity. Your contribution, Kathy. Thank you. In addition to Kathy and Goldie Harrison, of course, Sharon Boulevard, who is with us today, who is the chairman of the supervisors, board of supervisors, has also been a big supporter in keeping Lake Ann's redevelopment moving ahead. In addition to his leadership we should recognize others in the county who kept this rock moving uphill. Some of them are here today. They include Barbara Byron, who's the Director of Office of Community Redevelopment, and Bridget Hill, one of Barbara's staff who is focused on Lake Ann. Also Heidi Merkel, our longtime resident planning stalwart, and her boss, Fred Selden, who is the Director of Planning and Zoning for the county. And of course, many other behind-the-scenes staff at the county. And how about the others in our community itself? The supporting cast, the community background people that over the years stuck with the task of defining, redefining, attending, amending, etc., etc., etc. For those who have been a part of this, you know full well what I'm talking about. There have been many, but we should at least recognize a few. Names that come easily to mind include Kurt Pronsky, Van Foster, Howard Green, Phil Tobey, Ann Strange, Susan Burwell, Robin Myers, with us today from Texas, Ken Canadian, Lee Rao, Dick Kennedy. In addition to these individuals, there are those who serve on the design review boards, the technical advisory committees, the focus groups, and so on and so on. Many, many people. So, now on to the exciting part. If all proceeds well this year, we can expect that the physical part of Lake Ann's development will begin next year. We are so excited that some of us actually wanted to pretend to break Lake Ann ground today, at least symbolically. But we were convinced that we'll have to wait a little longer. But in the meantime, let me introduce David Peter, who has a few things to say.
Thank you everybody for coming out today. I'm David Peter, President of Republic Land Development and Republic Urban Properties, the master developer for Lake Ann's redevelopment. It's such an honor to join you all today in celebrating 50 years of Reston that all started right here at Lake Ann, and 100 years of Bob Simon. Although it's a few days early, happy birthday, Bob. I know it's been said many times today, but I don't think it can be said enough. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for establishing Reston, and in the process, redefining what it means to be a community. Thank you for inspiring so many, including me, to seek connectedness, inclusion, and continuity in the places we live. In a word you used the other day, community. In fact, the other day you made a comment to the effect of that if you built 1,000 houses in the middle of nowhere and made them cheap enough, you'd probably fill them up. But that by itself wouldn't make a community. And you're right. Reston has always aspired to be so much more, and it has always been so much more. The Republic family of companies is proud to be working on a planned revitalization of Lake Ann. Thanks to Bob's support, work is underway to expand Lake Ann's retail core and residential core while retaining its unique community character. Bob has done a great deal in the last several years to make this happen, and we want you to know we are committed to continuing your vision. Today, as we celebrate your visionary community and remarkable life, I would like to present you with this plaque commemorating both Lake Ann's past and its promising future. It reads, presented to Mr. Robert E. Simon in commemoration of Reston's 50 years and the ceremonial groundbreaking for revitalized Lake Ann, Founders Day, April 5, 2014. Thank you, Bob.
No, she wasn't there for that. Mary Ann did.
While we're still many months away from an official groundbreaking, we are excited for the next 50 years at Lake Ann. And we look forward to asking you, Bob, to help us commemorate and prepare for the future. I have 2 shovels here. locked it away in this trunk, and when we're ready for the official groundbreaking, you and I will use these. We'll have many more shovels from the many others who've been instrumental in crafting Lake Ann's future to join us, but you and I will carry forward the spirit of today and Lake Ann's legacy with these.
So I know that they had a party for him. Anyway, I enjoyed that for the last party. He came back to that. And the first party he ever went to up here was
Thank you for your vision. We promise to continue it and revitalize Lake Ann. See our mayor up here, very excited about this and look forward to a wonderful future. Thank you.
came up and he said that night at the lasagna dinner, you know.
All right, we're going to set up for our fanfare. We're going to have a fanfare. And as fanfare plays, I'm going to ask everyone to turn around and slowly walk. Now we're going to wait though. Slowly walk over to the museum. This is a little bit about the Reston Historic Trust. It was founded in 1996 as a community-based nonprofit organization to sustain the unique history of this award-winning, innovative community of Reston. Now we have some commemorative bricks, and as you know, those of you that normally attend our Founders Day ceremonies, we always have the bricks laid out here and they're installed. But we had so many orders this year that we didn't get the bricks installed, so they're out. You can see them. They're displayed as we walk over to the museum. There's 66 new commemorative bricks that will be laid here in the plaza at a later date. And this, with the fanfare, is going to conclude this portion of the ceremonies. And Bob, if we have the pedicab come forward here, we're going to, we're all going to follow Caesar Robertos and the Grand Pedicab Chariot. And we're going to head over to the museum and we're going to have cake and birthday wishes there. Now, the cake is already cut and it's going to be passed around, so you don't have to get in there to get your first piece of cake. It's going to be handed around as we go.